Okay. Good Vach and a good Chodesh, everyone. We are about to learn B'ez Hashem Sichos Haran for this week, Rosh Chodesh Sivan. I apologize for the strange setup. Just my main computer stopped working, so I guess it's the power supply, whatever. So until it's being fixed, we have to do it this way. I apologize for the weird-looking visual. Anyhow, and so here we go. It is said, B'Shem Baal Shemtov, that he was told, Mishamayim, the reason why Mashiach is delaying. And he said that the reason for it is that the people don't take the time to say Hava Rabbah, the bracha before Kriyat Shema. They don't take the time and say it at great length. This is a very fundamental Torah, very fundamental Sicha. It ties together with this matter that we learned in Torah Samach Beis, that if a person would have been cognizant that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is present and he is standing there and he's listening to me. If a person knew that with a full heart, then a person would daven with unbelievable fervor and would be very, very careful with every single word that he's saying to make sure that it's said right, that it's said with the proper kavanah. You know, when you hear this sicha from the Baal Shem HaKodesh, it says, like, okay, what's the reason that Mashiach is taking so long to come? And the answer is that, okay, people are not saying Hava Rabbah long enough time. Not saying slow enough. It can sound very like preachy in a way. Like, oh, right, I really should say Avos Olam, with greater length, with, take more time, pay more attention to that, and so forth and so on. But once you say it in such a way, and you receive it, you accept it in such a way, what does it leave you with? Where are you? The answer is really nowhere. It doesn't really do you any good. it's, used to say that the Ish Kodesh, the Priestess Rebbe, Zecher Tzadik Kodesh Lebrocha, Hashem Yinkum Domai, that he used to give Musa Shmuzim, a drasha of every Yom Kippur, and it was a very moving drasha. It was a big tzaddik and a special man, and he this drasha really awake the people up. So there was a group of people that tried to come to him to be with him in Yom Kippur, but they didn't manage to make it. So they came after Yom Kippur, and they came to the Piazesan Rebbe, and they asked him if he could please repeat the drasha that he gave on Erev Yom Kippur. So he told them, you know why people like to drink schnapps? He says, because people like something which stings and it's fun at the same time. He says, you want to hear this drasha of Yom Kippur now after Yom Kippur, because this drasha stings, and that stings sort of like validates something in you. I'm a Jew, and I like that, and I wish I was better. But really, when you say it in Yom Kippur, this drasha, you're going into Yom Kippur, you're going to use it, you're going to work with it. After Yom Kippur, you want to have this drasha of Yom Kippur. It's because you want to, you want this sip, it's like people like jalapenos. It's just people like a little schnapps, just a shot, something that stings and feels good at the same time. He says, I'm not your shot of whiskey. I'm not your shot of rye. To hear the Baal Shemtov is saying, you know what, Mashiach has not come yet? Because people are not saying Ahava Rabbah, slowly enough, long enough time. There's a danger that it becomes like a validating shtoch. I mean, how realistic is it? Talking about Mashiach. Mashiach is, Baruch Hashem, Levi should come today. But in most people's awareness, it's sort of like something which will come as a Hashem in the future, b'vadai. But until then, it's as if not really pertinent for right now. It's not Neigea Kilu right now. It's a general kind of thing. Mashiach will come, this, that. In the meantime, there's something I need to do. There's things that I need to do in my life. I have to work after this, after that. Some bias problems, children, whatever. But the thing is that we need to take a sicha like this of the Baal Shem HaKodesh and not designate it as, a shot of rye or something like that. Something that stings. If only would Sabbath long enough, Michelle. But the world being what it is, and life is life, whatever it is. So, but at least I know that I'm a Jew because I feel the sting in my heart. I wish. All right. This is not what the Baal Shemtov is saying. Baal Shemtov is saying is, take a look at what you're saying in Avasailam. I should take a look. It talks of everything. It talks of you loved our forefathers in eternal love, which means it's something that we can never ever spoil, because not because of us. It's because of our forefathers, ancestors. He loved them in eternal life, an eternal love which will never die. So we cannot belong to it ever. And then we say, the way you did to them, do to us, open our heart to love and to fear your name, to do everything that you say, with Ba'av, Berotzing, Lilmod, Lamed, Lishmo, V'la'asos, everything that you say, so that we won't be humiliated. Larry Lamboy, not in this world, not in the next world. When you take a look at what's going on, especially in view of the Sichos Haran that we learned in various Sichos, it's very, very serious business. It's a very, very serious business. Olam Haba is not a small thing. It's not, okay, we'll worry about it when we get there. That's not the name of the game. You got to pay attention to it now. And the more attention that the person pays to this right now, even in a kuda, the more a person is able to get closer to it. But I don't want to say, a schmooze that is, a shot of rye, the tips, and it's fun because, right? I'm really not good. I'm really not the way I'm supposed to be. I wish I was. But here I go. The fact that it tips me, the fact that, that it stings me, tells me that I belong to the camp of the good ones. But it can also bring a person down. So like, what do you want from my life? I mean, this is who I am. What do you think? I don't want to say I have a Rabba, properly, and to shed tears and beg HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Obviously I do. But I can't. Some people don't even get to want it. It's such a vochadika thing, it's such a daily thing. It's again, every single day. So, okay. Not this time, next time, not this one, next time. Each one is different. But I want to look at it from the other side. Rabbeinu says about the union of Nakuda Teva, a good Nakuda that the person is supposed to look and find in himself. Where is this Nakuda Teva? I mean, it says he's supposed to look himself and find another one, whatever. What do you want? That I put on film? What's the? Rabbeinu says he's supposed to connect. He's supposed to connect to the Nakuda that is relevant to you at this particular point in time. Rav Nosson says that there are two directives about this Nakuda Teva. Nakuda Teva means that no matter how awful, bad, guilty, whatever it is, I think I am, the kind of things that I found totally insurmountable, I can't. All those things. There is a single nakuda in there that rectifies it all. It also says the first step is you need to know the nakuda is there. Even if you don't know what it is, that will change your entire outlook. How does that work? The answer is very much similar to somebody, lo aleinu, he is very sick. And the doctors just don't know what to do. And then he hears from someone, listen, whatever, there is a refuah. There's a refuah, there's a drug, there's a, that cures what you have. You still don't know what it is. You still don't know how much it costs. You still don't know where to get it. You still don't know what to do in order to get it for yourself. But your entire outlook, is totally changed. When you know that there is a tikkun, that there's a way to fix what you're going through, it means I'm not hopeless. It's no longer just here I go again. It's not just frustration, follows frustration, blah blah blah, whatever. It's not that. It means I have something that is bothering me, something that needs to be rectified, and there is a tikkun for it. That's step number one. You should know there is a tikkun. Step number two is you're starting to search for that nekuda teva. You search for this drug, for this thing that will give the tikkun to that which you're looking for. What is it? Where do I go to find it? The answer is, Rabbeinu said in Torah Zayin, this sign, that Tesvav, I think. On the Sichos of Sabbath Be'atuna, it says that, a chick that dies inside the egg, which way does its spirit go out of the egg? Because the egg is closed. So he says, the way it came in, that's the way it goes out. And Rabbeinu says, the chick that dies in the egg means, where do you have to be moisen nefesh in the tefillah the most? Rabbeinu says, where the machshava zoros come in. That's the place where you're supposed to be moisen nefesh the most. Applicable to our particular nekuda, to that person. We're looking for the nekuda. What is nekuda teva? The answer is we get a hand from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That nekuda which we cannot overcome, the nekuda tova is right behind it. This is where nekuda tova is. So you start with coming to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and speak to him. Speak to him from where you really are, you really truly are. I want to say Avos Olam, with full, but I just can't, it's just like I have things that, tendencies that just suck me into them. And before I know, I've thrown away so much time, which is really the only asset that a person has in this world is just time. It's free, but it's gone. And the only time that we actually have is right now. That's it. There's no more. Not what was, not what will be, just right now. The main way that we need to take this particular Sikh of the Baal Shemtov, the reason, why Mashiach did not come, because we don't say Ahavas Olam long enough. We don't pour our hearts in there the way we need to. Okay. So when I say, okay, I don't do it, and now I'll go to shul tomorrow, I won't be able to do it. So I'm supposed to feel bad and says, there I go again. That's not the point. What is this talking about? I just heard for the tzaddik emes la'amitoy, the Rabbeinu Baal Shem HaKodesh. The reason that Mashiach, it's not just the Mashiach of Klal Yisrael. It's each person with his own personal Mashiach, which is the tzaddik emes. Because besides the personal, besides the global redemption that Klal Yisrael is going to have sooner nowadays, there's also the private, the personal geula, the personal redemption that I need to go through, that I need saving. I need my personal Mashiach. This you can have already now. If you listen to the tzaddik, to what he's telling you, he's awakening. He's telling you, listen, speak to the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Talk to him your truth. The Kodesh Baruch Hu rejoices with your personal truth, as pathetic as you might think it is. It causes the Kodesh Baruch Hu tremendous amount of simcha and pleasure when you come and tell them, listen, it's not only they're not saying Ahavas Olam or Havaro, whichever the nusach that you're saying. But to be honest with you, I want to say it properly in principle. But to be honest, when I come to davening, it just evaporates. And I just rush through it. Maybe I pay a little attention to it, but I don't really want to. If you speak like this to Kodesh Baruch Hu, and you say, listen, I know it's not, I know it's wrong, but this is where I really am. You will find behind this the Nekudat Torah. When you get into it, the Nekudat Torah is I want to. I wish I said it the way I'm supposed to. I mean, I'm the Mashiach for Klal Yisrael, my own personal redemption, everything will come. And I still can't do it. Yeah, but you want to. You're talking about it. You're bringing up when you're FaceTime with the boss. The boss is there. He's listening to you. At Hashem, Sh'or v'Gut Chodesh. I think, Shavuos is the Yotz of the Baal Shem HaKodesh, Yotz of David HaMelech. So Schus to get Aleinu with Hashem and the Kabbalah Torah on Shavuos. Let's move on. with the biography of Arizal. Last week, we spoke about the Shmuel Kavetz. It was Killa Shashem. And today, we are going to speak about another one of the Talmidim of Rabbi Shlomo Alkavetz, Hashem Yinkom Domo, in Nister, and that was Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, the Ramak, that also was the brother-in-law of Rabbi Shlomo Alkavetz. He was born in Tzfas, and he received from Rabbi Yosef Kara, in Shas and Poskim, the Ramak, tremendous Talmid Chacham. And after he became proficient in Shas and Poskim and everything, the Bes Yosef, he actually started teaching Kabbalah, but the main learning he got from Rabbi Shlomo Alkavetz. After some time, he had tremendous Talmidim, and besides the fact of being, the ultimate luminary in Kabbalah before Arizal, he was the leader of the generation in Kabbalah. When in the year Shin Lamed, when after he passed away, so the Bes Yosef, said about when he eulogized him, he says, we are actually bearing here Sefer Torah. He was, it's called the big tree, and Izocha to Gilul Eliyahu. He lived to just age 48. That's it. And what he contributed to the Jewish library, the Pardes Rimonim, the famous Pardes Rimonim, the Oyokor, Tzavik Gerushin, that he accepted upon himself when he did Bravin Golos, he accepted Golos, for the Golos of Shechina, the way that Rebbe Benelech and Rebbe Zisha did hundreds of years later. Of course, there's a Toimet Dvora, the famous Sefer Musar, which is built according to the 13 Midos Shurachamim, and most foreign about the Siddur, about Machzorim, Yom Kippur, and it wasn't easy for him. And Chaim Vital writes, he was his Talmud. Chaim Vital was his Talmud. He says when the Ramak was learning the Zohar Kodesh when he was making his Beidus at night after Chatzos, and he would have to fight with tremendous chitzonim, tremendous klippos that came from the Yetzer Hara to try to dissuade him. He saw his unbelievable struggle, and it is said that before he passed away, the Arizal was already in Tzfas. But as long as the Ramak was alive, Arizal did not reveal himself. So when when he was ill, and it was obvious that he's not for long in this world, that his Talmidim asked him, who will substitute for you? Who's going to be our leader? So he told them, the one person who will see a column of fire standing on the place where I'm supposed to be buried, he's the one. By the Levaya, everybody was there. All the Chacham Tzfas were there. The Arizal was there, nobody knew who he was. But they knew, because the Ramak told them that he's going to be, his place of burial is designated, and someone is supposed to see a column of fire to tell them where he's supposed to be buried. Nobody sees, nobody says anything. So that means they don't know where to bury him. So they asked the olam that was there, but the Levaya, does anybody know where we are supposed to, to bury Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, the Ramak? So Arizal says very simply, right there, you see where the column of fire is? This is where it's supposed to be. Okay. Now they knew it's supposed to bury him. Now they knew who the new leader is supposed to be. The Kabbalah of the Ramak was the most complete until Arizal. Arizal took it, a quantum leap to the next level. Now, with your Rishus, I want to say Sichos Rafa this week. It's Sicha 181. This is the Torah in which Rabbeinu reveals who he is. And the reason why we need to hear this, because when you hear it, it's just like, why is he telling you? Why is he like, was he showing both? What's the point? The point is that we need to know this. We would not guess of own volition, he's this or he's that, unless he told us. We wouldn't know that the Hashem spoke to Moshe Rabbeinu unless he told us, Hashem spoke to me. So this is what he said. He says, I heard from his name that he says in this particular lashon, I know such teachings that if I would start to reveal a little bit of those teachings, you'd be able to live from the pleasure of learning this chokhmas without eating, without drinking. The entire world would like self-annihilate, like disappear for themselves. Such a tremendous longing to hear my chokhmah. And people would, excuse me, the language, like freak out, go out of the kalim, from the immense sweetness and of the chokhmas that I would reveal. He says, but I cannot reveal them to people because whenever it is I start to talk to someone, I want to receive from him. I want to see him great things. In other words, whenever Rabbeinu spoke to someone, the person was just saying, what happened, Napoleon did this, whatever. Rabbeinu would hear from that inyan from the Shemayim, brand new things. And he says, because of that, he cannot be megaler his immeasurable chachma because he was always open to receive. He was all the time receiving more and more and more, and he couldn't actually give it out. And he said more about the immensity of his wisdom. He says, but I was not Sichos to hear from his holy mouth, but from other people. And it says in the end of Sipurim Maisius, Rabbeinu says that there are such wisdoms in this world. A person can live, if he knows them, he can live with no eating and no drinking. You don't need to eat, you don't need to drink. A little bit about that. When we say in the Torah, the Zmanis that we learn during the week, Torah Samach Beis, everyone says that it is in the eating of a Jew that a person can bring about Yichud Kudsha B'Chush on the highest level. And then Rabbeinu mentions refuah, and Rabbeinu mentions business, and he says that a person has to reveal like a Jibbo who can give you sustenance and refuah and everything without medicine and without doing business, I mean, mainly without eating. What does it mean? What does it have to do with us? I mean, we don't know these chachmas. We don't know how to do it. So how do we, what do we do with this? The answer is, the Rebbe says that, when does it happen that the zichut kuchar b'chushinte from that becomes out of your eating the Jew. And it says is deeper, when you're eating with a muna. What is the muna that you need in order to make your eating so potent that it fixes the entire world? That's it. It doesn't get any bigger than that. The answer is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given you eating, has given you doctors, has given you business. It's not that, you need to eat, you need to go to doctors, and you need to do business. But there are great secrets in it. And, there's also this eating, but you can turn it into something else. No, that's not it. The answer is that the eating, Kadosh Baruch Hu made us need to eat because the action of eating is the thing that brings about Yichud Kushah B'Choshim. It's a necessary step. The Klippas want to sway you, instead of eating to do this, listen, this is really gourmet. It really tastes good. I mean, man, just take a bite of this. Man, you're going to freak you out. Mom's going to eat it. The same way when you go to doctors, the same way when you business, you have a deal. It's not in a coincidence that particular client came to you or that particular income came to you. If I would win the lottery, I won't need this. And therefore, that particular thing that you need to do is a must to bring about the Yichud Kushah B'Choshim. It's not superfluous. It's not, I don't know the Chochmas, and therefore I have to go through this. If I'm lucky, no. It is a must. This is a step that you need to take in order, Be'ezrat Hashem, to bring about Yichud Kushah B'Choshim. It's avodas Hashem. And it's not a coincidence that this is the food that you have, and this is what a person needs to go to the doctor for, and this is the kind of business that you got. I really wouldn't want to have that, but what can you do? Because Kadosh Baruch Hu said that. No, there is a great kavanah in that. There's great kavanah in that. We need to go, so it's because we don't know that chokhmah that will be able to give us life without eating or drinking. Obviously, if you had, without eating or drinking this kind of sustenance, this kind of chayas, a person would never get sick. So, here we go. Rosh Chodesh Sivan. Not Hashem, Monday and Wednesday is not Hashem. I don't know. We have to talk to the Chevra. Maybe we can learn Thursday, obviously, but maybe we can learn in B'Shem Yeshua on Wednesday. We'll find out, and then we get a chance to speak about Shavuos and. B'Ezrat Hashem will all be zocher to whoever it is that we're not going to see. Until then, B'Ezrat Hashem, first of all, good chodesh to everyone. And B'Ezrat Hashem, Kabbalah Satira. B'Ezrat Hashem will be zocher to receive the Torah, b'shleimus, b'simcha, and b'koach of the tzaddikim amitim. This is it. Torah is it. This is the pinnacle of the year. Everything leads to that. Baruch should help us. Bezat Hashem. Should see Geula Shleimo. Bezat Hashem b'mheil b'yameinu amen. Kol tov. Let me see how I deal with this here. Okay, hold on.